Ricky.
Hey, Bas, mate. Good morning.
Hi, man. Sorry?
Good morning.
Good morning, man. I'm looking how I can start this video. Let's see if this works. There we are.
That's it. That's it.
That is it, eh? How are you,
Mate,
man?
I'm good. I'm like, my eyes have just jumped straight to that scooter in the background.
Hey, what about the skateboard?
Yeah. Oh, is it a skateboard? I can only see. No, yeah. Is that a scooter beside?
This is a scooter.
Yeah.
This is a skateboard.
Yeah. Well, I know. I know the difference.
Yeah, okay. But I use both. When it's raining in Auckland, I'll take the scooter, and then when it's sunny, which is most of the time, I'll take the skateboard.
I've seen them on your social, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it's so good,
what?
man. They're so good. Like we're so happy that we bought these because, like, I never drive the car.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um.
I'm gonna see if I can.
Yeah. Go ahead. There's a
I'm gonna
really
see if I can
bad.
pin your video. Yeah, I know. There's some delay on the line,
Yeah,
eh?
really bad delay. It's all right. We'll make it work.
Okay. Okay, you just take me through this, man. Like I'm all ready to go.
Yeah, listen, we've been recording from the start. I'm just going to keep all this in because, like,
Oh shit! Can we take it back? Can we take it back?
no chance.
Yeah.
Right, listen,
Yeah, we just need to see how it works with the delay, eh?
it'd be fine.
Okay.
Can't do anything about it. We can't speed up the internet. Right, so it's 9 o'clock in the morning for you, is it? Is it 8 o'clock in the morning?
It's 9.
Nine. What have you done so far? What's your day been so far?
I usually wake up pretty early because we have a newborn. I don't know from until what age you can still say you have a newborn. She's 8 months old, but I'll probably be saying newborn when she's 18 as well. But yeah, she wakes up quite early, and then I wake her up. We go for a walk, and I really love that part of the day because it's just us, and I don't know, the city is waking up. It's just really nice.
Hmm. I love what you've
What
been
have you
doing.
done, man? Because it's end of your day, right?
End of the day, we have just finished. I'll tell you, I was going to sit here and I was going to have a beer while I was doing this because, like, it's
And
10 o'clock at night. But just out of pure habit, I went to the bathroom at about 9:30 and I brushed my teeth.
yeah,
I'm just kind of like,
yeah, yeah,
kind of a beer now.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah,
nah, man, it's been a busy day here. So the gyms have like only opened in Scotland in the last 2 weeks.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
So
that happened quite recently, right? Like
yeah, Scotland was
you've
way
been closed
behind the
for a
rest of
long
the
time.
UK. Yeah, ages,
Yeah.
man. So yeah, gym's open. Taught a couple of classes this morning. I did a heap of work this afternoon. So I'll tell you what I was doing.
Okay.
So we filmed, like, do you remember way back in May, we all filmed for Les Mills United? So I
Yeah.
still have all of my clips. So I've gone through and taken like the funny bits, and I've done like
Oh yeah.
6 or 7 videos, which I'm going to start posting in the next few days. So spend about
Oh
4 hours
nice.
doing that, and then trained again tonight, and then just chilled out. Lindsay and
Ricky,
I
how
had.
was it to get back into the gym, say? How was it? How was it for you to get back?
Do you know what? I think for me, it's been absolutely fine. I understand people having the little apprehensions, but I do think, see, once people are there, it's almost as if nothing had happened,
Yeah.
which is maybe a bad thing and it's maybe a good thing.
I don't know. Yeah.
What about you guys? Because you guys have, like, from what
Yeah.
I've read, are you guys back in lockdown and now coming out of another lockdown? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, so we had a massive lockdown. A level 4 lockdown is what it's called here. I think I don't know the date exactly, but from April or
Hmm.
I don't even know. Like, yeah, it was when COVID was at its peak, and it was actually quite a few days, and when we were weeks actually, and we weren't able to travel, and we had to stay in our bubble, and then we were COVID free for 102 days, I believe, which was really great. But then it picked up again, and we went back to level 3 lockdown, which is not as strict, but pretty strict. So I wasn't allowed to go to the office unless I really had to, and at that time the gym was closed as well. So now we're back at level 2 or 2.5 officially, I believe. But gyms are open again. The first few days is always a little bit weird. You're asking yourself, should I wear a mask or?
Hmm.
But then I ended up going to the gym, and almost only the PTs and the gym staff was wearing masks. All the participants are not wearing masks. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's interesting. It's only those first few days, you know, a little bit unsure what people will be doing, and
Yeah, we're in that weird situation in the gyms where if you're working out, you don't have to wear a mask. But if you're like
Okay.
gym staff, you do need to wear a mask. Or if you're walking from your car into the gym and into the change room, you need to wear a mask. But yet you'll take it off in 2 minutes to go and train. Like it's so bizarre. And like I don't really, because there's just a whole lot of shit on social media, isn't there, about people who have opinion on masks, and I don't have the energy for that. It's just like If I have to put on a mask so as I can enter your building and buy a hamburger or do bicep curls, I'm happy.
Yeah, true. And it's like I saw this really funny meme from a friend who posted it somewhere like last week, and it said it basically said I'm really doubtful who to trust. Like, should I trust the people who have studied for it, or the person who rants about it on Facebook who didn't finish school? I'm really doubtful who to trust here. And I kind of feel like that. Like, I don't think we know the full story about this. And but I think the right thing to do is trust the people who the government seem to trust, at this stage, until we know more. Yeah, just have a cautious approach. And I think, it's interesting what's going on. All these people demonstrating for either mostly loosening up the rules, and it's interesting.
Yeah. You said there about going into the office. So are you still working officially during this time?
Yeah, I've been working all the way through, but most of the time it's just from home. And since we're back in level 2 lockdown, we're allowed to go to the office. So that's not a lockdown. It's level 2, whatever it is, COVID thing. Yeah.
Well, listen, I suppose let's do a formal introduction and like kind of tell people who you are. So like, who is Bas Hollander? What a name, by the way.
That's a difficult question, man. I saw that question coming through, and I thought, like, what should I answer to that? I think it really depends on who you ask. And I really struggle. I don't know, like describing myself or. Okay, give me some guidance here. What are you aiming for? What are you looking for?
Nobody's ever thrown that question back at me. I get other questions thrown back at me, but not.
How would you answer that question?
How would I answer that question? As in, who is Ricky Long or who is Bas?
Yeah. No. Who's Ricky?
Oh, right. Fuck. Nobody's done that before.
Yeah, I know. You're asking the question, but it's a really hard question, man.
I've been waiting for that for about 150 episodes. Who's Ricky Long? Ricky Long is someone who enjoys quiet life and enjoys like exercising and training without being competitive.
Okay.
I enjoy talking to people who are similar interests like that. I will always try and lend my experiences to help other people, and that's mainly in the fitness industry for other fitness professionals, whether that's we're obviously going to have Les Mills people listening and tuning into this, so it's obviously helping a lot of Les Mills people. However, it's far beyond that. I've been a gym owner, a gym manager before, so I like to help people from my experiences. And then this is the first time. Oh, no, right, we'll edit this bit. Right. Ask me again.
Okay.
Ask me again.
Okay, so Ricky, I'm curious to see, because I think this is a really difficult question. How would you answer that one?
Ricky is somebody who's engaged. Boom.
That went way too quick, man. That went way too quick. It's a difficult. What do you mean with engaged? What do you mean?
Oh, so you might not have seen Lindsay and I got engaged 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, of course. No, yeah, that engaged. I thought you meant like engaged with life, or I took it one step too far, man.
Oh, you're too deep.
Congratulations, eh?
Oh,
yeah, I've seen the post on Lindsay's Instagram, and so happy for you. When it's gonna happen?
We're speculating about that now, so probably similar to you. You probably know a lot of people who were meant to get married in 2020 and are now getting married in 2021. So we've got that along with a lot of other people who were getting married in 2021 anyway. So we're kind of thinking, could we sneak in early and do it before everyone else, and then just chill out the rest of the year? Because if you go to everybody else's wedding, it'll be
Yeah.
like stress.
Yeah.
So the long answer to that, we would love it to be next year, but it'll depend on a lot of things. So yeah, we'll see
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, so I think that's much better.
So if I have to answer that question in the same fashion, then I would say Bas is married. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough question, man. Like but that's something that you are now. But how would you if somebody would ask you that question on a personal level, how would you describe yourself then? Are you
Yeah.
and do you struggle describing yourself, or is that
No,
easy for you?
Nah, it always depends who asks. Because if somebody in Les Mills land asks you, you're probably going to lead with something to do with Les Mills. If somebody meets you in the gym,
Exactly.
somebody meets me in the gym, I'll now I talk about triathlon training and endurance training.
Yeah, exactly.
That sort of thing. So
but as a person, like, who's Ricky as a person?
Mate, this was your question. I can't believe you've done this to me. Is this a Bas Hollander podcast?
I'm good like that. Yeah.
No, I think I kind of said it. I'm quite. Do you know what? I think a lot of fitness professionals will be like this. I'm actually quite a bit of an introvert. And I'll, when I'm home, I'll be, watching some crap on TV. I'd probably far rather do that on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night than go out, be in the bar, be with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I'm that sort of. I'm quiet. I'm kind of. I'm not into detail. I sent the world's best educational brief out for Les Mills International to Glenn and a few of the other ones for the body pump webinar a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
So you've seen these briefs before? They're like 27 pages long and like many words in them.
Yeah.
Mine was 1 page, 15 bullet points, job done.
And how was the feedback on that? Did people like it?
There were a few questions, but honestly, I just lead with an objective and then go out. So I'm that sort of person. I'll just let's just jump in, see what happens, and react. Let's not do planning and prep and all the rest.
That's kind of Dutch.
Yeah,
that's kind of Dutch. Like when I used to work with the Dutch team, that was almost sort of our motto. Like let's do it, and we deal with the consequences later. Mm-hmm. And then I moved to Japan, and it was completely opposite. Like it was on the far end of the spectrum. In Japan, they are so risk aversive that they try to patch every hole before it's even a hole. Like every single detail is thought through, and that means that getting started in a project is really difficult and takes very long. But once it's rolling, it just always works because all the details were checked in advance. And it's a completely different approach to managing a team, but also starting up new projects. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So you would fit more in the Dutch.
Yeah, I would love it. One of my first memories of you'll probably remember this event. So I was just coming on to the Les Mills UK team, probably 2013-14, and you were back and forth doing all the Les Mills lives or one lives, whatever they were called back then. And do you remember it was Alexander Palace in London? It was grit cardio, about 10 trainers on what can only be described as an indoor car park. It was on concrete.
Yeah, 100%. And it was behind these fences or screens. It was, and people weren't sure if they were waiting in the right one because there were sort of two areas, but the one was, and then everybody ended up in the first aid area or something. And they had to move one over.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember Dave Cross was there. Who else do I remember? Steve, you, Aaron, Kate, I don't know. It was,
So there must have been at least, and I'm not exaggerating here, at least 150 people doing this on concrete. And for everyone listening, we didn't have a stage or anything. It was just a load of trainers passing a head mic to each other. And I remember I ran past you for whatever reason. Now I'm meant to be a coach, and you grabbed me and you took your mic off, and because you were teaching, and you were like, Ricky, how long's left of this track and what's next? And I remember just
that was true. Yeah.
So I had to run to the DJ person, and I had to look to see how long was left, and quickly the choreography notes were there at the same time back in the day when we had paper notes.
I forgot.
I remember reading it. and I having to run back to you and tell you.
That doesn't often happen to me. That I forget. I'm quite good with choreography, but I remember that it was complete, and I don't want to say complete chaos because it was like organized chaos. But because we were standing in the middle in a big circle, I believe, and there was just so much going on, and I think I was helping somebody else out, and all of a sudden I was just forgetting. Oh shit, where are we?
Yeah.
Can I swear in this one?
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, it's
Okay.
very very free for all.
Okay. Yeah. Good memories. Yeah. I think that was my first time really working with the UK team. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah.
Yeah, that is my first memory of you.
Nice. Me forgetting my choreography notes.
No, it was just how, because what you were saying about detail. See, back when I was coming onto the team, it was all very. I would have been very scripted in everything that I was doing and I was saying. And when you turned up and you were, this brings me on to another point, by the way, which I need to pull you on. You were very cool, very laid back, and you were just, and you didn't see, this is the thing. You didn't grab me in a panic. You're just like, Ricky, like, Hannah's left. What's next?
Well, what are we actually doing here?
Yeah. And I love that.
You know what is, sorry.
No, I was going to say this brings me on to my main point of the podcast. So Bas Hollander, if I was describing Bas Hollander, back to the first question, is I would describe it as cool, laid back, baggy shorts, baggy t-shirt. However, last week there was a video of you doing grit on social media, short shorts, and you had a small t-shirt tucked into your shorts. You did look like a 1960s, 70s PE student.
100%. No, yeah, like a student, like a teacher.
Yeah,
like the typical physical education teacher.
Absolutely. COVID affects people in different ways, and if this is what COVID's done to you, are you now going for like a complete, like, all the tight clothes? What's going on? What's happening with the wardrobe?
Yeah, well, all the normal shorts were in the washing machine. Actually, true story. And I think I'm practicing handstand. I love learning new things, and I set myself the goal to learn a handstand, and it's been way more difficult than I expected it to be. So I'm practicing every day, but I tuck my shirt in when I do a handstand because I'm right in the middle of the gym. I don't want everything to. So I tuck my shirt in, and I think I didn't untuck it before the class started, and that was the thing you commented on. Yeah, it was. COVID affected me in that way, I guess.
So you're talking about trying to learn how to do a handstand. You're having.
Yeah.
You said it's harder than you thought.
Yeah, it's way harder than I thought it was. I studied sports academy, and I was really good at how do you call it, gymnastics. Like, I suck at team sports. I was really bad at hockey, soccer, or football. Volleyball, because I was too short. Like, I really suck. But gymnastics, athletic, self-defense, like those were, and moving to music, those were the good sides. So I expected, I'll give myself 2 months, and I'm able to freestand for like 30 seconds. Well, I'm not even close, and I've been 5 months in already. But I don't want to give up because I want to learn. I'm
really surprised, because I just would have expected you to be quite a natural at that, especially now you've told me your exercise history. See, when you've been posting stuff on social media, have you been getting loads of like helpful and unhelpful feedback from people?
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm actually meeting a guy in the gym tomorrow who's really good at it, and I think I'm so close, but it's just I need some, like, how do you call that, like somebody who's an expert eye on. Probably it's a small shift that I can't fix myself, that he says, you just need to put your hands wider, or I think it's something like this, but I can't figure it out myself. But I'm able to fix this now in the meantime. So I've learned something new.
That's a really scoop, yeah.
Yeah, do you know how to solve it?
No, I've never even attempted, like, properly.
Yeah, well, this is my new little project. I'm able to solve it within 3 minutes most of the time. But no pressure. So
I think I have read some stuff with Rubik's Cubes, and they say if you can teach yourself how to fix it, it like increases your IQ and intelligence. I was on a Joe Rogan podcast about this.
Yeah, my IQ just gained 2% or something.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, I know. Like, do I come across smart?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Oh, great. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm able to fix it. No, that's what I just wanted to show this because I love learning like small stuff, like things that I'm teaching myself. There's so much stuff to find on YouTube, editing photos. I all the like the job that I'm hired for now at LMI, I basically taught myself via YouTube.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What I was going to ask, what photo editing software to use, because that's something I am asked constantly.
What do you use?
I use a hybrid of couple, so I'll use Lightroom sometimes. So
Yeah.
it's a free version, free bit of software from Adobe. I actually find Instagram stories, the editing that you have in an Instagram story is actually quite good.
Yeah.
The automatic filters you have, and if you want to add graphics, etc. onto them, they're the two I would mainly use. Very, very occasionally, I'll plug into on the Canva itself.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's not. I don't. When I say I don't need to edit photos for social media or anything, it's not like I'm trying to be 100,000 followers and biceps and abs, of which I have neither. So yeah, that's not what I do. What does it use?
So for the video editing, you basically have sort of three things that professional video makers lean to. It's Adobe Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, which is free and really good, and Final Cut Pro.
That's the one.
And I've been editing in Final Cut Pro since 5 or 6 years. And when I got this role, everybody in the office is editing in Premiere. But I started, and it just took me so long to unlearn my old habits from Final Cut. It's all these shortcuts, and I can edit a video. Like if you practice a lot with editing software, you just get the hang of it. Like you know your shortcuts, you know where to find stuff. So I just decided to stick to Final Cut Pro, and because I'm a one-man band in the thing that I'm doing, I don't have to collaborate so much with other editors. So yeah, we don't have a gap there or something. So I'm using Final Cut Pro for video. And I'm for the photo editing, which is just a hobby, I'm using Lightroom.
Yeah.
So that's where I am using Adobe.
Yeah, it's a good app. Yeah. So you just said about Final Cut Pro, yeah, for videos. I have a friend of mine. She's a professional videographer, and she uses Final Cut Pro, and she is such. I'll say this to her face. She's such a snob because I use iMovie to edit my videos. And she's like, can't believe you're using iMovie. You've got to use Final Cut Pro. And I've seen Lucy use Final Cut Pro. And just like you said, if you know the software, there's just so much she does with it. So you use that. Like your YouTube, you've been creating your style of videos for 5-6 years. Kind of what?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. What prompted that? You still obviously do it now, but you're doing it for Les Mills a bit more.
Yeah, I'm doing it for Les Mills, and I'm not doing it enough just for myself. Well, I started this because by the time we met, I was sort of doing so much cool stuff. I was flying from Mexico to the UK to Sweden to Australia, like so many places, often 2 or 3 times per month. And there were moments where I came home and somebody asked me, I think I was still working at school every now and then, but and somebody used to ask me what did you do last weekend? And I almost didn't remember. And then I thought, like, how is this possible? Like, I'm doing so much cool stuff that it almost becomes a standard, and I don't want to feel I don't want to get to the point where it's not special anymore. So I need a way to document it. And then we had my first ever video that I made was horrible, but it was for me really nice because I had a 8-minute sort of clip of all the things that I wanted to remember. It was the filming we did in Stockholm. And from there, I really got into it because I really liked it and I was really consistent. And I think I was doing really well. But then I moved to Japan and it got so intense and busy for me that I wasn't able to do or make videos regularly on a regular basis. So I just did it every now and then and basically the same is happening now because with the little one, we just don't have so much time.
Of
Yeah,
course. That
but I
probably
really like doing it.
do a really natural question. You know, we'll kind of danced around it a little bit. What is it specifically you're doing with Les Mills now?
The official title is education director. I had to think about that because
Yeah,
I never
I saw
used
that
that
look in your
title.
face.
Yeah, that was a split moment that I thought like, oh shit, I'm professional. Yeah, it's education director. So when I was still in Japan, I sat down with Jackie and I basically said, hey, I think there's an opportunity to create ongoing education for instructors because I used to work with instructors a lot in Holland and in Japan, but because I was managing the trainer team. So I have been through that process as an instructor myself. So I always think most instructors are not in this role because they want to make money. If they want to make money, they're in the wrong profession. Most of us do this next to their normal job, and it's just a hobby. So I think people get other stuff out of it than money. It's reward, or for some people it might be being in the spotlight, and for others it might. But if you bring it back to what I over time learned that instructors and trainers are looking for, is sort of self-development.
Mm-hmm.
You come from one area, and by becoming an instructor, you sort of learn this whole new aspect to teaching, but also for some people also to life. So it's self-development. It's being valued by a company that most instructors really like. I would like to work for. And the last thing is, most instructors and trainers say that they want to help in some shape or form. And for some, that might be all classes in the gym are stupid, but my class is at least a little bit fun, and that's my way of helping. And for other people, it's completely shaping and changing people's lives. So it came back to these three things. I pitched that to Jackie, and I said, couldn't we try to make sort of YouTube styled videos that attracts or that speaks more to that younger generation, to see if we can cover those 3 points. So that's how it sort of happened. And then she said, you got yourself a job.
Brilliant. I love it. I love that ethos, and that, like, you want to do more, because I'm completely the same as what I think you are. Is you want to do more than just teach people how to brace their abs while they do a squat, burpee and a clean and press, because that's kind of, that's a little bit, you know, that's your foundations of being a group fitness instructor. That's why I love doing what I do and helping a group fitness instructor run their business and develop online.
Yes.
PT. So I think that's great. I would love I would love Les Mills, because one of the values of Les Mills, the value proposition, is we're dedicated to helping instructors achieve greatness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that really, for me, that lands with me, because I don't think teaching someone how to do a body pump class, like teaching another instructor, there you go, that's how you do a body pump, I don't think that helps them achieve greatness. I don't think that's what greatness is. I think, all right, you're teaching body pump, but let's look at your whole, you know, fitness business offering. You know, how you talking to your people, you know, how you communicating with your people, how you actually coaching your people, because there's so much more to coaching than what's just in the notes. How you presenting yourself on social media, how are you branding yourself? That's the stuff that I love. That's why I do podcasts. That's why, you know, I try and get people of great experience, you know, like yourself. I had Glenn on, I've had Rachel on, because I think that's where instructors really see that, like, you know, you have Glenn on. Glenn and I went off on a 20-minute segment about strength training and different books that we've read. It's not all just
cool.
body pump 2x2 singles, you know, brace your abs. It's not all that. There's actually there's substance behind it all. So that's why, like, I think that job that you have, you can make a real difference with that, and it's good that you're obviously able to keep doing it during, you know, this global pandemic, these unprecedented times.
It actually picked up. It was like so it wasn't all easy during some people had how do you say that in English, like lost their jobs. And we went through this phase at the company where we sort of knew that was happening, but we weren't sure which role was affected. So it was kind of I wasn't sure either. I wasn't sure if we were able to stay here or if we had to move back or whatever. Yeah, but so I'm really lucky and happy and grateful that I can still do this, and it means that we can still be here in New Zealand for a while,
Mhm. I
which is
suppose
super nice. So yeah.
I'm going to just guess, is one of the videos you had a hand in were the Black Lives Matter series videos?
Yeah, I produced that one. So everything
Yeah,
that comes from Les Mills TV that has the label Les Mills TV is produced by me.
excellent,
Yeah, and
excellent.
there's other people, like Diana is the creative director, and um, Deidre and Marlon had a big part in that
Hmm.
video as well.
Yeah.
But I've put it together and edited and
Hmm.
tried to make it look. Um, and I don't know if this is the right word for that type of video, but like make it look appeeling or
Hmm.
enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
Enjoyable is not the right word in this, but yeah, I hope you get what I mean. Yeah.
No, the 100%. And I think maybe the word that I would possibly look at is they were interactive, they were engaging, they were,
Yes,
borderline,
engaging. Yes.
borderline. When I say, obviously the message is really, really serious, obviously, but watching it was really intriguing and borderline entertaining. Like, I wanted to learn more. I
And
wanted to
that's
see
what I
what was
would love
next.
these videos to be. That's my main purpose with these videos. I want to make videos, and I want to make videos that are easy to watch. That in some cases, and maybe not on the Black Lives Matter topic, but other topics are fun to watch and engaging,
Hmm.
and you could learn something at the same time. But
Yeah.
that's not the main point. That's how we used to do old educational videos, right? It was one person talking to the camera, delivering the main topics that a person needed to learn.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at the YouTube generation, um, they make watching videos so much fun. There's this British guy, I think his name is Mike Boyle,
Okay.
and he makes videos about teaching himself stuff, or he's teaching himself stuff, like for example riding up a stairs with his bike, or what did he learn last time, well, like stupid stuff that he comes up with, but he makes it so engaging to watch.
Hmm.
So a person who wants to learn how to ride up the bike on a stairs has a tutorial of how to do that. But every other person who doesn't want to learn it, which is the majority, has a fun video to watch. And I think
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to achieve with Les Mills TV. Yes, it should be professional because we're coming from a professional company. It should be educational, but it should definitely be fun and engaging to watch.
Hmm.
And I think we're often getting there, not always yet, but we're learning.
There's a great book by, I want to say, Jonah Berger, and it's called Contagious, which has nothing
Okay.
to do with virus, but it's the analogy of contagious. People want to talk about things that are sticky and they want to talk about. So, for example, we
Yeah.
made a joke at the start of this recording about face masks, and this is
Yeah.
a sticky topic. People want to talk about face masks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I'm a fitness professional, if I'm a PT in the gym,
Yeah.
I could, in theory, create a piece of content, open a video with me wearing a face mask in the gym, giving my
Yeah.
opinion on wearing a face mask, doing a
Yeah.
clever edit of me doing a squat and taking my client through an exercise. And all of a sudden, you've hooked people in. That's a contagious to watch your
Yeah.
video,
Yeah.
which actually isn't really about face masks. It's actually about how I PT my client.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah.
sort of thing. And again, I'm thinking specifically back to the Black Lives Matter videos. I think what
Yeah.
you and the team did very well is you made, like, getting me to sit down and watch a 15-minute YouTube video. That's a big ask.
Yeah.
You got me to watch
Yeah.
4 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. It was actually 20 minutes in total. Like each
Yeah.
video was about like 6 to 7 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's that's
Yeah.
what, because Black Lives Matter, especially then,
Yeah.
it had just boomed, that whole subject. So it's
Yeah.
what everybody was talking about
Yeah.
anyway, and all you did was
Yeah.
just.
We wanted to make this fast, and that was actually quite challenging. I think I
Mhm,
worked for 2 weeks almost non-stop, like 16 hours a day easily.
mhm,
But we wanted to drop this um, while it came up,
mhm,
because I wanted to say while it was peaking, but like I think this is something that should be consistently peaking. But when it started to peak,
mhm.
we wanted to come up with a quick, well thought through response to this.
Mm-hmm.
And we have so many people in the tribe. I can't say tribe anymore. We don't know what the new name is going to be actually.
Yeah, so
not yet, right?
People keep asking me this. Is it Ricky?
Yeah.
Still call themselves tribe? Is it? Yeah. And I'm like, no. What is that? And I'm just
I think we're invited for this somewhere next week. I think Clive is going to do the announcement. I'm looking through my calendar to see.
Clive's groupies. That's what we're going to be.
Yeah. So, but we have so many people in the group of instructors or trainers who are so knowledgeable on different stuff. So I just made a series on we call it how to crush your goals. And we work together with a trainer from Alex Qatar from the US.
Mm-hmm.
We've worked with we work with Steve about injury on injury prevention, and that's what I would love to do in the future even more, to see who has something interesting to share and how can we turn that into a Les Mills TV series. Yeah,
I think, and I asked Denise this because Denise did some work with you on those Black Lives Matter videos. How much does it mean to you to be doing this sort of work now, compared to being the head trainer of Japan, compared to doing a Les Mills live? How much does it mean to be doing this almost more this bigger work, if I can use that phrase?
Yeah. I must say that I was really proud of these videos. Mostly, it was also really intense to work on it. Like there were nights when I went through the video and I showed Maria, my wife, and like it got me emotional because I got all these videos. So I asked Denise and Dennis and Hussein and all these people that I know not super well, but know enough to feel something for, and I got all these videos back with like heartfelt stories about things they struggled with, and it really got to me. So by the end, when the product was finished, like I was really proud of that we got that together as a team. The videos flowed well, so from a creative perspective, I think, and I'm really happy that you say that as well, they were I can't come up with because sort of the words are not how do you say, like, are not applicable to this type of content, but they were easy to watch, that were not easy to watch at all, but it just flowed, like there was a good flow to the videos. I was proud. I also think that working as a manager is really fulfilling. It's just completely different. And I kind of miss it as well, actually. I miss working with the team, but I'm just really happy to do this for now.
Can you give us any exclusives as to what content you're working on just now, or anything coming up in the future that's interesting, exciting, controversial, emotional?
We will continue the Black Lives Matter series. We're working on the next one, which talks about the health disparities for Black people and people of color, and how false thoughts or beliefs still creates a disadvantage for some people around the world. So that's a project we're working on. We're working on something really cool, which is called Les Mills Fuel, where we create videos about nutrition. So
nice.
Diana is really keen on cooking and finding healthy stuff, and I hate people that sort of pitch something and then, but I can't tell anything about it yet. So Les Mills Fuel is coming up. We're creating a series that hopefully launches at the beginning of next year, that we call it Les Mills Reset. It might change, whatever. But
right, folks, you heard it here first. There is a global Les Mills food nutrition product launching in the next few weeks. Bas Hollander has confirmed it here. He's squirming.
No, I can't confirm that it's a product. We're making a series where we help people in 6 to 8 weeks to sort of create a different view to what nutrition does for them, what nutrition makes them feel, food make them feel happy, energetic, and just good. Yeah.
Well, listen.
So those.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, yeah. So that's what I'm working on, Les Mills TV wise. Where have you spoken to Glenn?
Yes.
Did he mention any new things coming up?
He may have. Well, what new things are coming up? And I'll let you know if Glenn's mentioned.
Yeah, we're trialing out some stuff.
Yeah, he
Glenn, Diana, myself.
He told me some things.
Yeah, well, that's exactly that. Yeah. It's just everything is in a really early stage, so I also don't want to scoop anything that might not. We test so much stuff and come up with so many ideas here in 22 Center Street, and some never see the light of day, you know.
Well, that's it. That's what funny Glenn and I were talking about is, you know, before a class leaves a workout, a concept leaves a Les Mills Auckland gym, it has to be tested. So there's been so many classes, workouts, concepts that don't make it out. So a great example of something that was just a test was Les Mills Bar, and it made it out.
Yeah.
And another great example
was
CX Works, which was basically just Dan's core workout at one point.
Yeah.
And they made it into a class. And then there's probably loads of things like there's something, there's Conquer, which you know, it hasn't made it out. But and I think because of social media now, I actually, you know, strengths and weaknesses beforehand, nobody knew about these concepts, so it didn't matter. Now people know about them, and I think people are just a little bit more acceptant that, all right, they're doing Les Mills Primal in the Auckland gyms right now. It may or may not make it out.
Yeah, well, that was the thing that I wanted to mention, but
that's all right. Glenn mentioned it. I was like this.
Okay.
What? Primal?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I really like and we don't know who's gonna be involved and if I'm gonna be involved. Like with Les Mills, you kind of never know, and that's the beauty of it. Also, the scary part sometimes, but it's very dynamic. We just did a first trial, and a small trial. We had like 4 people from the office joining us, but we see if the workout flowed, what we could, and we have heaps of learning. But like I'm really curious to that one because I love training that way myself. Because it reminds me of my judo time. But also I'm really curious if people like you and me, but other people, if they would like that type of training. I don't know yet.
Yeah, I think what do you think? It's obviously it's on trend right now. Bodyweight training, flexibility training, calisthenics training. It's all kind of on trend. And I honestly, the shift I'm predicting, and you're kind of seeing in the fitness industry right now anyway, is because people are coming a little bit more in tune with their their like immune health and their mental health.
Yeah.
Training and looking after your mind body will become even more popular, particularly with people who are probably not who traditionally wouldn't have thought about this. So I'm thinking about the 30-year-olds upwards. You know, they're still living in aesthetics. Let's train to get big. Let's train to get fast. Whatever it might be. And again, because endurance training is kind of a little bit on trend right now, like marathon training. A concept like this, which will help those sports, I would certainly be very, very interested. And there'd be so many people who, you know, any instructor who is over the age of 30, any participant who's over the age of 30, you need to be doing more to look after the health of your bones, of your joints. And, you know, a lot of people don't like body balance. A lot of people don't like CX Works bar. Well, this is perhaps something which will give you the same benefits in a different way and a different experience. And that's me basing what I know about Primal off the 30 seconds you've spoken about it and the 2 minutes Glenn spoke about it last week.
I just hope that we can make it into something really, I don't know, like playful. Like there's something I think that we're missing as adults that we used to do so much, and except the people who still play soccer or football, you know, like but there's something nice that just by playing, and I don't mean childish play or something, but where where playing becomes the goal, and the primary goal, and not a goal like I need to get fitter. The goal is the game, and the game is the goal. And I think it would be nice to have something like that. And for some people that might be this, and for other people it might be something else. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I'm excited. When did you say that's coming out?
100%. We don't know. We're not even sure if it's coming out. We're not sure in what form it comes out. Maybe it's like Bar, that initially it's going to be 2 releases that people can purchase and like get, or 6. I think we did 6 with Bar before it became a real program. I don't really know. I don't remember, but I think initially it was agreed, like, we're going to create a series of 6 classes, and that's going to be it. It might be that as well. I don't know.
October.
We're in the very early stages.
October
so we need to catch
1st.
up on this again in a year or something.
Yeah, October 1st, I'm expecting this to be out based on this conversation.
No, 100%. Yeah, 2020, yeah. 2022. Yeah. Yeah.
That probably in some way leads us nicely on to like your own training, your own nutrition. What does that look like? Has it changed since you became a father? Yeah. So what's going on there?
We are eating HelloFresh now.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. During lockdown, it was so convenient to just get a box with food, and this is what you're gonna eat. And we love it because it helped. It's kind of healthy. It's common sense healthy almost. And it gives us different things that we normally wouldn't eat so much or haven't thought of. Training wise, I try to do something every day. I really dislike strength training, but I know it's really good for me.
Yeah, I think you said that on Lindsay's podcast, and it was kind of like, all right, okay, that's interesting, that's honest.
I think it's there's not much more boring that you can do than to lift a weight. And I know, like, so many people have different opinions on that, but just for me, it's I don't like it, but I still do it because it makes me feel good about myself. I think I look better, fitter. I look fitter, not better, because
You look okay.
I look fitter. So I still do it, and I'm really into the high intensity interval training stuff. So I do grit on a regular basis, sprint on a regular basis. That's basically my training.
That's cool.
And I'm doing all those handstands now, which is really cool.
Absolutely, well, that's strength training of sorts. Do you reckon? Do you reckon when you say strength training, do you see a crossover? If you get into like a good habit, 4 or 5 weeks of doing strength training, do you have better energy, better feelings when you do your classes?
No,
just
no,
don't enjoy the strength training.
No. I just know that it's good for my body, and I know that it makes me look fitter for when I film. But I'm not so. I don't think that's so important now anymore. Since I've grown a little bit older and I've done it a couple more times. So it's but I actually picked it up, and I have an app, and once I can track things, then it's a little bit better for me. I don't know how you do that. Are you always motivated for strength training?
So see, because my training's changed in the last year, so I've gone from the group fitness instructor who did weights and was quite big and quite strong and a really, really strong, relatively speaking, like body pumper. Whereas I've completely gone the other direction. I'm in the endurance sports now, like marathon.
Swimming,
triathlon. So what I find now, I've really only discovered this in the last 3 weeks, like truly, is I've found, because we've been in lockdown, the gyms have been closed, I haven't been able to do strength training. So I was just doing loads of cardio, which was great. But I started to notice my performance levels, particularly when I was swimming, started to suffer.
Okay.
And literally in the last 3 weeks, I started doing strength training again, and already I can see the swim going up. So it's almost like, I don't know whether it's placebo effect. I don't know whether it's, the strength muscles are there. So that means they can produce more power, particularly when I'm pulling in the water. And interestingly, I went for a run tonight. I haven't
Okay.
ran in over a week. I twisted my ankle.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everybody relax.
Okay.
Ricky Long is absolutely fine. So I went for a run tonight. First run in, like I said, over a week, and it was fast for me. And the rate
Okay.
of perceived exertion, like I don't feel it was working that hard. And I looked at my
Okay.
watch when I got back in. I was like, whoa. And that's from doing more
Okay.
squats and lunges and deadlifts.
Yeah.
So I
That's
think
really interesting.
in answer to what is maybe my own question, I noticed the strength training. This is a mistake a lot of endurance athletes make. They don't do strength training. Whether they're an average marathon runner or a park footballer, I think you definitely need to do it. I do agree with what you said. It can be the most boring 20 minutes in the gym and trying to do a set of 5x5s. You're like, come on,
Yeah.
do I have to
Yeah.
do this? So it can be, you need to find a way to make it work. So my hack.
So what is your way to make it work then?
You do it before your cardio workout. So it might be before your body pump class, go and do 5x5 squats, or before a swim, before a run, before a grit class. Like, I think it is one of, especially the instructors, because you're getting so much conditioning from your group fitness class anyway.
Yeah.
Like, and we always say, oh, it's not my workout, it's their workout. That's fine. So why don't you pre-fatigue your body and then use your non-workout as your conditioning workout? Like, it'll happen naturally.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I do it. But like I said, we haven't been able to strength train for 6 months. There's only so many handstands you can do. I have to move my laptop.
Exactly.
I need to
good, man.
plug into some power over on the other side of the room.
Hey Ricky, where do you live? Do you have like this crazy cool view?
Yes.
Do you live close to a lake?
It's actually the River Clyde, which goes on to the Irish Sea, which splits Scotland and Northern Ireland.
I saw some, I think, stories coming by, and I thought like, whoa, that's a pretty cool. I initially thought that you guys were on a holiday.
Listen, see the good days. See when we have the sun out here, it looks like, the best spots in the world. It could be Ibiza out there.
Yeah, it looked beautiful. Yeah. Super nice, man.
Great part of the world. Right now, like, you can't see because it's pitch black. The amount of rain coming out of the sky, like, there's just so much water out there. Yeah. But the good days, mate, it's really good.
Yeah, it looked beautiful, man. Yeah.
Listen, I'm very, very conscious of time. It is 11:15 here. Makes it like, what, 9:45 where you are?
Yeah. I'm all good for time.
In the morning. Well, what have you got on the rest of the day?
So yesterday we did a couple of live streaming workouts via Les Mills on Demand. Today I'm sitting down with Diana about the fuel plans. What else do I have on? I think that's the main thing. And I'm preparing some stuff. I'm writing scripts, and I'm looking at my only appointment today. 2 appointment was you and sitting down with Diana. But the rest of the day I'll be scripting and editing and business as usual.
I saw that we probably shouldn't talk about it, but let's just drop it anyway. Let's be a bit controversial. I saw Rachel's post on social media about 2-3 hours ago. So you've probably woken up to it. Big news, man. Big news.
Yeah. Big news indeed. The main thing, because I think this is something you need to talk about with Rachel, because everybody's gonna have their thoughts around it, and some people might be super happy for Rach, some people might think she shouldn't have left or whatever. But what I'm really happy with is that Les Mills brought it in a like, it's a nice thank you to Rach, like all these things that are all these posts that are up now, celebrating what she has done for the program. I think that's we haven't always done that. Sometimes people have left and they sort of left and they just left, and I think this is a better way to do it.
100%.
Yeah.
How's your Shabam? Are you any good at Shabam?
I'm pretty good. I'm
Yeah.
pretty no. We're doing dancing in Born to Move, and that's about it. And actually, Janine, who is the program director, and Anna from Sweden, they always say, "Wow, it's better than last time. Wow, it's better than last time." So it seems that I'm progressing, but no, I wouldn't say I'm a dancer. Far from it.
Yeah, probably be remiss of me not to mention Born to Move in this. Like it's a program that's obviously been on a journey, a very, very troubled journey in terms of just trying to get it out there and exposure.
Yeah.
How did you come into Born to Move? Because you're grit, you're sprint, you're high intensity interval training. Oh,
Yeah.
but you're also the guy who does Born to Move. I mean, that's
Yeah, it's not always that people would picture, but I've been a physical education teacher. That's what I did before this whole Les Mills thing started. And I love working with children because it's different every day. I think it's something nice to do. Like, I think the world, or at least in Holland, doesn't have enough good male role models as teachers for kids. It's mostly females, especially in the younger years in the primary school. And I'm not saying of myself that I'm a good male role model, but I'm at least male. Yeah, well, this conversation, I don't know what that's sometimes the language barrier, that my mind is further than my mouth is keeping up with the English, translating to Dutch. Basically, I like working with kids.
Yeah, I think I put something on my social media about 3 weeks ago. I can't remember what inspired me, but it was just a little post on my Instagram story. It was just text, and it was like, if I was a father, what I would let my child do and encourage my child to do is everything. Like, every physical activity. I want them to play ball sports. I want them to do gymnastics. I want them to run, jump, throw. And I want them to be generally good at everything, providing they're having fun until they get to an age like 12, 13, 14, 15. And then it's okay. You have good physical readiness. You have a good understanding of your body. You have good control. You know, obviously, you'll hopefully have a good handle on your immune and your nutritional health.
And
it's now let's specialize in what you want to specialize in, but you have these other things you can do. So it's the analogy of, like, I know so many, I can kind of count myself in this as well. So many people, I played football from I was 10 to 22, 23, but I didn't really do anything else. I had to learn everything else apart from swimming. From I was 15, 16, I had to learn how to weight train. I had to learn how to squat. If I had those basics, I could have, okay, I'm not going to make it in football. Maybe I can do it in athletics or something like that. Give them that really, really good. So I think that message of...
That's really interesting. I've been thinking about this kind of stuff heaps since I have a daughter. Like, the only thing that I'm quite adamant on is that she starts with judo. I think that's a really good foundation. It's really versatile. And I think it's really good for girls to learn how to defend themselves. Unfortunately, in this world, I think that's needed. Not necessarily on a physical level, but I also feel that physically defending yourself gives you mental, I don't know, not awareness, like a buffer to deal with other sorts of difficulties. So that's the only thing, but I agree. Like, I think kids should explore, and that's what I love about Born to Move. We are not sticking to one part of physical activity. We do martial arts, we do jumps, we do athletic training, we do dancing, we play in games, and it's such a broad spectrum that for kids it's something. There's always something that they really like, and they're always something that they're really good at. So that broad, and also like what do we teach our kids? Hey, like, I've been in a brain twist since she was born. Like, I thought I knew it, but I have no clue. Like, what I've been struggling, and maybe this is something to I don't know how you were doing for time, eh?
I don't know.
And I don't know if
fine.
people still listening by the time they hear this part.
Nobody listens anyway. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Well, then, Ricky, then I'm curious to see what I've been struggling with lately, or struggling. I can't really come up with an answer for myself. Is how we are as fitness professionals, or as a fitness industry, sort of constantly trying to share and push people into this American dream.
Okay.
And the more that you can be whoever you want to be, as long as you work hard enough for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really struggling with that, because I don't think it's true, but it's a great sell. Like if I want to write a book, I see this difficulty. I think life isn't fair. Life is based on luck, quite a bit, and I think that's underestimated in this whole. You can be whoever you want to be, because it's just not true. Everybody has the I've read some, like an example, Bill Gates. I don't want to undermine how hard he has worked in his life. He probably made longer hours than anybody else and whatever, but much of his career path has been luck. He grew up in a rich family that was able to allow them to go to a school where he got, when he was a young kid, where he got learned how to code. And in that time, it was believed that 0.01% had access to computers. So having parents with money, sending them to a school that used computers, having a mother that knew somebody in the high ranks of IBM, like that's all quite, I think my role here in New Zealand is based on luck as well, for a big part. And I've worked harder than, I don't want to compare this, but I've worked really hard in my life. I'm working my ass off for every filming, but I also think it's luck. I was here for the first time at the right time. I met the right people, and I couldn't have influenced that, you know?
Yeah, so many things jump to mind. It's some of the stuff I've been reading and studying recently. It's like not everybody can be great, because if everybody was great, then everybody would be average.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the example that I sprung to myself was, wait, like, do you order like Uber Eats, or like order food to the house? I mean, the guys and girls who do that job, like, it's probably not what they want to do for the rest of their life. But if they were achieving greatness at that very moment, and we were all the same, nobody would be delivering our food. Nobody would be driving the taxis. Nobody would be doing the buses. So it's like,
plus, Ricky, the more difficult thing in this is that the people who fail to make it in their perception, which we can discuss if that's the perception that people need to have. Like, can we only be happy if we have that new Chanel bag or whatever? Are we only happy if we live the nomad life, where I'm so free that I can sit behind my laptop on a beautiful beach? Is that the life? So that's one side. We're creating wrong expectations for a whole lot of people. Plus, the people who don't get there, which is the majority, we unconsciously make them feel bad, because we're basically saying you can achieve everything you want if you work hard enough. So you guys, you just didn't want it hard enough, and you didn't work hard enough. And you can't, like, I feel I'm getting goosebumps now, because I feel really passionate about this. We're teaching a whole generation to feel miserable about themselves, unconsciously, by all the posts we're sharing, like, look at my body, and if you don't have this body, you didn't work hard enough for it. It's not that black or white.
Yeah, we're in that instant gratification where, I post this picture on social media, I want to get X amount of likes, views, comments in the next, 10, 20 minutes. If I don't get that, it affects how you feel. And then another side of that is, we're talking about luck earlier, and I love the quote, can't remember who it is there's luck is just preparation meets opportunity. So luck is just preparation meets opportunity. So it's not, like, a really good example, hopefully, that everyone can hear I'm at a Les Mills event. I'm lifting a big, massive weight in a body pump. Glenn spots me. Glenn puts me on stage on the next filming. Now, that wasn't luck. I had been preparing for that the whole life, because I didn't just rock up and start bicep curling 10 on each side. You can't just do that. You have to prepare for that.
I totally agree. But there's something that, if we take this as an example, if Glenn would have been sick and a replacement would have come, it wouldn't have happened for the person we're referring to.
Yeah.
Plus, if Glenn has an unconscious bias to a certain type of person, maybe he relates to that person, or maybe he sees something in that person that reminds him of himself, or like that stuff that you can't influence. And because of that, it is luck.
Yep.
Because so many people have done the same preparation. I always gave this example to when I was still a training manager, both in Japan and in Holland. I said, I'm 100% sure that there are instructors that are teaching as well as I am teaching. And some of them are teaching even better than I am. They have better coaching. They might be more charismatic. They don't struggle with English as I'm struggling. Like I'm not exceptionally better than them or than they are. I happen to be at the right time, and I'm super grateful for that. So don't get me wrong. Like I don't say my whole life is based on luck, because I work my freaking ass off. But I wouldn't have been in New Zealand if it wasn't for at least a majority, like a part of luck.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It does, and we keep. It's. I think how a person grows up with their teachers and their parents. So if you have two parents who have low paid jobs, work a lot of hours, I think that kid is more likely to be a hard worker, but might not have the same opportunity. Whereas if you have two parents, like a Bill Gates as a parent, you're going to have more opportunity just because of the networks. And but at the same time, will Bill Gates' kid, just using Bill Gates as an example, will his kid work as hard because he has more opportunity? So will he work as hard? So it's kind of it's luck, it's preparation, and it's what you do with it. Because if I'm doing those bicep curls in that class and Glenn sees me and says, right, you're up on stage the next week, I could get up on the stage and think, hey, Baz, listen, I'm here now. You don't need to do anything, because I'm going to do all the listen. Glenn picked me. He didn't pick you. He picked me. Or alternatively, I can rock up and think, well, this is my opportunity. I've got to go for it now. He wants me on stage on Sunday, so I'm going to practice every day between now and Sunday and really graft. But I completely, there is that belief that I think people are, what's the word I'm looking for? Did I say it? The instant gratification. They want everything now, which can stop people working, and then you see other people get opportunity, and you maybe only see them get the opportunity. You don't see the hard work and graft that went before it.
Yeah. And again, if we take Bill Gates as an example, I'm sure he worked really hard, and he worked for the stuff that he achieved. Like I'm not saying that it's not about hard work. I think I'm at the point where I know that hard work can only be turned into something that you want it to be if you're also lucky. And things like we've been talking about with Black Lives Matter, like my skin color, that's luck. I can't choose for that. The way my voice sounds is luck. With my voice, I will never be a singer. It doesn't matter how hard I work for it, And yes, I can put all my effort, but we're born in that way. We're born unequal. And telling me that I can and should be working as hard as I can to achieve the standard greatness, what people see as greatness. I don't know. I think it makes a lot of people feel really bad about themselves because they don't have the body yet, or they don't have that voice yet, or they don't have that salary that they think they should have. And we set people up for feeling unhappy. And I don't know, like that's so coming back to your question, like what do we do with kids? Like I hope that I can teach Izzy that that life is not always fair, that it's sometimes based on luck, and that's okay. Yeah.
You know what I love there? See, at the very mention of your daughter's name, Izzy, your
Mhm.
face just changed shape completely. It's doing it again. Massive
Ah,
big smile.
I love her so much. Like I
Your
wanna
eyes actually went into two
practice.
big hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so cute, man. Yeah.
Man, listen, I've got a couple of stock questions, and then I've got to wrap it up.
Cool, man.
So my stock questions. First one is, what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
To care less about what other people think. Yeah. That's
Question I don't normally ask this is, when you were 20, could you have envisaged yourself living outside of Holland? Did you see that as something you wanted to do? Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend at high school, no, at primary school. I was like 6 or 7, and they moved to New Zealand. And I totally forgot about this, but I actually told my mom when I was 6 or 7 years old, I'm gonna live in Japan, because I made a how do you say that, like a project where you have to talk like a speech, give a speech.
Yeah.
And I practiced judo, so I chose to give a speech to my class, and I was 7 or 8 years old, about Japan, and I made a whole a booklet about it, and in that booklet I wrote, one day I'm gonna live in Japan, but I completely forgot about it. And I also said to my mom, and she mentioned this when I moved to New Zealand, is Steph is his name. He's actually a really good snowboarder here in New Zealand. Steph is living in New Zealand, and one day I'm gonna live in New Zealand as well. So apparently I knew that from when I was young. But
Man, that's affirmations. That's vision boards
that's
to the
crazy, right?
extreme,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. And the Japan thing, I have black and white, and the New Zealand thing is just from what my mom has been saying. But yeah. I miss the people. I don't necessarily miss countries or something. I don't know. Like we're happy that we're here.
Yeah, I'm sure. Next one, books. Do you read books? Do you listen to books? Are you more
Yeah.
YouTube and videos? So I always
A
ask
lot of
people.
Hungry Caterpillar at the moment.
Yeah, I was
She
going to
loves that
ask
book.
any good books you've read recently. Who would you recommend it to?
There's a book that is that I really like. It's called Love 2.0 from Barbara Fredrickson. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Do you know what? A friend of mine is she's a complete addict, and that book, Love 2.0, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that was on her social media, like I think at the weekend, and it was just you've said it. So I'm a great believer in the universe. I've never heard of that book. I've no idea what it's about. Cara put that up. Now Bas has mentioned it. I need to go and check out what this book's about, and like without even hearing a description, what you're about to go into, I just know I need to check it out.
Yeah, so we're basically back at luck. Like you heard it for the second time, and that was completely out of your hands. That's a good book that comes to mind. I love reading self-help books, although I also think it's a lot. You just work for it, and so I don't know. Like and I love to YouTube stuff and follow people that I like, but also people who inspire me, and
Listen,
I don't have a book that Love 2.0 maybe. Yeah.
I have taken apart my bike and put my bike back together based on YouTube videos. Like everything
such a
is
great
YouTubeable.
medium.
It's unbelievable.
You type the name of a small thing, like a small piece, like a Shimano gear shifter or whatever, and somebody made a video about it.
I know. Next one, and the last one, in fact, always ask people, do you have any like weird obsessions that you might just be temporarily obsessed with now? So my one is I never watched, the podcast listeners would be bored of hearing this, but I would never watch Netflix. I would never sit down and watch something, but I completed Suits during lockdown. And when I say I completed Suits, I watched all 9 series. I then watched documentaries about Suits. I watched outtakes. I watched I had a problem. But yeah, over to you. Any weird obsessions?
Now, well, if we have to talk about series, then this series that I can't stop raving about is in English it's called Money Heist.
Yes, it's
Yes.
Spanish dubbed.
Yes. It's a Spanish series, and it's the best European series, Netflix series ever. It gets the highest score, and that series is I love, and maybe that's because of the work I do as a video maker. I love how when something just flows, and when you have a series that suits. You go from one episode to the other, and then all of a sudden there's a whole episode of flashbacks. And it sort of makes sense. And it didn't happen in Suits, I believe, because I've seen it as well, but I can't remember. But it's sort of how people got there. But those episodes are so boring because you just want to know how the story continues. And they have found a way in Money Heist. It's called Casa de Papel in Europe, I guess.
Man, that was sexy. Say that again.
No, I have no clue what I'm saying. I don't even know if that's the real name. I'm just Papel de Casa. Well, one of these. Well, Money Heist. We stick to Money Heist, and they interweave the flashbacks in a way that it's so engaging and so that one gets me on the edge of the seat. And I think they have finished the 4th season, and they're making a 5th one, but with Corona, it's delayed. So my advice to you, Ricky Long, is watch Money Heist in either English or the original language. But then you just have to read the subtitles.
Will I learn how to say that word you just said? Casa de la Blanc?
Yeah, you have to listen to El Profesor, and all these names. This is a funny story. Okay, last one, and then you can wrap this up if you want to. But there are so many people are into this series that it's these Dali masks, the red suits and the Dali masks, in Halloween, and actually in lots of demonstrations around the world, they start using it. Becomes this whole a cult symbol, a cult symbol. And people who are really into these, and all these characters have nicknames of big cities. So you have Rio, and you have Helsinki, and everybody has a name. And one is called Tokyo. The main character is called Tokyo. And because we love Tokyo so much, we debated for a while, shall we call her Tokyo? I'm happy we didn't. I'm happy we called her Izzy. But it was to that point where I thought that's such a cool name because she will be adventurous and
No, mate, I have loved chatting. Let's call this a part 1. This has been absolutely fantastic chatting to you, and I know you're going.
And I like to hear from you as well. I think sometimes with these things is, as the interviewer, you end up asking loads of questions, but I think it's nice for people to sort of hear your thoughts as well around certain topics.
Well, I think
you haven't been quiet in other podcasts, to be honest. You share your thoughts as well. So, but it's I like to hear a little bit more of that. So
I think I might title this the Bas Hollander Podcast with Ricky Long, because I think my first question is who is Bas, and I ended up answering it. So I think I'm very happy with that. So if I can, I
feel I got a little bit better once this conversation was rolling. But I texted you, people who only talk about one subject and that's themselves are usually not the people I like interacting with. So I try to
Oh, you're so honest. All right, mate, listen, I'm going to let you go. I know you've got to go and see Diana. Give her my love. In fact, you know what? Give her a little nudge and tell her that she's got to come on the Ricky Long podcast because everybody else has been on it.
I will tell her that we did this today,
Yeah, give her a little nudge.
Nice.
Oh, that'd be class. Yeah. If it was to get Diana, I see you and Dana have a lot of crack. What would be good, fun questions to ask Diana?
Because
you two used to do some brilliant Instagram stories where you were in the middle of filming and clearly just pissing about, having a laugh.
Diana is she can be really crazy, and she loves having fun and taking stuff not too seriously. so maybe how she manages maybe that's an interesting question, how she manages having a really strong position within the company, which comes with a lot of pressure, and but also how she manages that lightness at the same time as well, and how she views that, and how other companies could or should do that. Yeah, maybe that kind of stuff.
Yeah, right. This is up to you. This is up to you to get Diana onto the Ricky Long podcast. So I'll let you wave your magic.
I'll do my thing.
Yeah, and let's get it happening. Mate, listen, I'm gonna head to bed. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm gonna put all.
Thank you so much for asking me.
In the links. Mate, this is part one. Let's do more. Let's chat about Instagram TV, or sorry, Les Mills TV. Let's chat about us doing more podcasts together. And yeah, I think that'd be cool to do. Anytime, man. Awesome, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. Talk to you soon, Ricky, and say hi to that almost wife, soon to be wife of yours. Yes, I will. My fiance. Yes. Your fiance. That's the word. See you, Ricky.